A midweek Bitcoin structure check will assess whether current market conditions support continuation, reversal, or rotation using structure and risk management, not prediction. Let's start with higher time frames. Looking at the weekly time frame, the daily time frame, and also the 4 hours time frame to see where we are at this point in time. You are welcome once more on the Beton's Crypto. Yeah, I create content to help you understand what goes on in the market. And Wednesdays is the day that we look at midweek reversal to see what price has been doing from Sunday right up to Wednesday, and to determine whether price is going to reverse, or maybe price is just going to continue going down, 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 depending on where we are in the circle. So I'm going to go deep dive as I mentioned earlier. If say you are new here, you are welcome. If say you are a return subscriber, you are welcome. And let's dive straight away to the video. But don't forget to subscribe quick and early. Okay, guys. Before we go here, let's just see where we are with the fear and greed index. We are now at extreme fear. When we are at this point in time with the fear and greed index, this is a signal for institutional investors or big whales to start accumulating. So it's like Bitcoin is in an accumulation stage when you start seeing the fear and greed index showing these low numbers, 6, 10, 11. This is the extreme fear zone. The next thing I want us to look at is crypto bubbles for this week. I want us to see the coins that have been doing well against Bitcoin for this week. Even though Bitcoin is down, right? The entire market is down. You can see that there are coins or cryptocurrencies that have been doing well against Bitcoin for the week. Like Tau has been up against Bitcoin already for 28%, Staple 36%, 36%, PP 20%. Many others here that are doing well against Bitcoin. Now, let's get to the chart of Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin on the 4 hours time frame, and what I want us to establish is this. You know, let me. I'm gonna bring in one indicator here, the market times. Before I even continue, I want to first of all, let me see. I'm gonna take off one of my indicators here before I bring in this market times. Usually I don't analyze with the indicators, so let me just go back to this chart and take all of my indicators out. I do it I bring in my indicators after I must have analyzed price. The indicators just is just a way to for me to see, okay, whether my analysis is aligning with it. So yeah, this is Bitcoin on the weekly setup, and based on our previous price action, we are in this range, we are in this zone, right? So if we have to look at support and resistance, you can see the zone currently is at $73,000, and the resistance level is at $73,000, and the support zone is at $49,000, and this is our trading range from 73 to $49,000. So from where we are, we can easily go right down to $49,000, and or we can go right up to $73,000. Now, because we break this level with high volume, you can see, and price got right down to about 60K. I think what price need to do next is to at least attempt the 60K price point again before any major continuation. So for us to actually move forward, let's build the range that we are based on this structure, based on previous price action. So this is a zone of the previous price action. So what I do, or what I'm gonna do now, is bring in the volume profile. I want to mark our range that we're gonna be trading until price breakout from this zone, either above $73,000 or below $49,000. So this is our range. I'm gonna mark this properly for us to have a clear visual here. Let me mark it to the future, to the future. I'm gonna mark it to the future. You see, I'm gonna change this to red, so we know this is the POC, right? This color. I'm gonna change it so that we know that this is a POC. Okay, now we have our range. So after doing all of this, guys, usually, what I want to do next is drop down to the lower time frame. Like, okay, let's say for example today, let's look at today. Let's see what price has been doing based on this structure that we just established here. And if you see it, like not only today, ever since price got into this zone, price has been moving sideways, sideways, sideways. So if you have to trade this, it's gonna be really, really difficult to trade this as a swing trader, right? Only those who want to trade this like a like scalpers, quick in, quick and out, like day traders get in here on like on lower time frames, like the 15 minutes time frame. Only these guys can really survive um price actions like this. Okay. So looking at this, you see, I already built this range here, this range in this box. And based on market structure, we are sitting below the value area high, which means that when price is below the value area high and price keep rejecting uh, this value area high zone or level based on the volume profile, it means there's high chances that price is going to go and target the POC, which is going to be around $63,000. So if there's high chances we're gonna go to $63,000, it also means that based on where we are in this range, we can also visit this low here at $60,000 and even go more downward to $59,189 based on where we are currently. And if we're going to break out of this volume profile range and not able to get back above it, like for now, this range is acting as support inside this zone, right? Right. And if we break out this support, then we're going to target this um $49,000 price point, which is the support currently is the support the like the final structural support zone where if price break, then we are gonna go even further downward. For now, this is a range that we are looking at. And I'm gonna say to you guys that we have had like a fantastic price action for the week now. You can see ever since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 days, you can see we have been moving sideways, sideways, ranging. Price has been ranging. And most people are going to be saying, okay, we are going to go down, down, down. Well, there's nothing yet to confirm that until we are going to take out this low here at $60,000 before we can start saying maybe we are going down. So going to the 4 hours time frame now, you see that where we are currently, it aligns with what I have been saying to you guys based on the lower time frame price action. Right. Since we came into this range, you can see since we came into this range, price has just been moving sideways every day, sideways, 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 sideways for like almost I would say almost 2 weeks, going to 2 weeks now, moving just sideways. And for you to be able to understand where we are currently, you can take the POC currently to be that, let me say, the zone that you want to like you want to look for buy opportunity, of course, right? And if price break below the POC, right, and go to the value area low, then that's when you can start looking for another buy opportunity because we are at the value area low. You buy at support and you sell at resistance. You don't sell at resistance and you don't sell at support and buy at resistance. You buy at support and sell at resistance. That's the rule. You have to put that in mind. And if I have to focus on the volume profile, then this range here should be the range that we trade. So it means that what you should be looking at from where we are currently is more short, not longs. You cannot long the market right now. It's impossible. Why? You can see price has been rejecting this level. So I would say that because most altcoins are doing well against Bitcoin, try to find altcoins that have strength against Bitcoin. So that you can rotate your capital to those altcoins. And for you to know that, you need to bring in the pair, your coin pair against Bitcoin to see how the chart looks like, whether Bitcoin is outperforming that coin, or your coin is outperforming Bitcoin. So this is exactly what I'm looking at currently on a 4 hours time frame, and we can even go further to create more ranges here. But I'm not going to do that because it's going to mean I'm going to be, you know, like trying to add, like make my chart to be nasty. Oh, I'm really sweating. It's hot here. I'm gonna come a little bit. 1 minute, guys. Yeah, I was feeling really hot. Like, I had to open the windows so I get some air inside here. You know. Okay, so this is what is going on with Bitcoin, and we know that when Bitcoin is not doing well, many other altcoins are not going to be doing well. Bitcoin pulls most altcoins with it to the downside. So if we look at the altcoin market, like for example, let's just go. Even though most of these altcoins that you see here are doing well against Bitcoin, let's just go right now and change this to USD. You see how everything is going to be in red, right? Let's go to the daily time frame, not the weekly. So you see everything is in red, and if we go to the Bitcoin, you see that most of the altcoins here are anywhere. And if you go to the top 200 altcoins in the space based on this, you see that today most of these altcoins are not doing well because Bitcoin is not doing well as well, right? Now, how should you approach price on the lower time frame, like the 4 hours time frame? Okay, these ranges that I've marked already, you can see top, 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 that price is rejecting. And also we have this low here at around $59,000. So if we see Bitcoin break and close below $63,000, then we are going down to $60,000. And if we're not able to see any buyback, like immediate buyback, to right up to, let's say, above $63,000, then know that we're gonna go right down to target the low that I mentioned around this price point. It's gonna be around, let me see, around $49,000. If you go right down, you're going to see that the low is around $49,000. Right. So this is the range that price is actually currently in. And for us to be able to say maybe we're going to be back in an uptrend, we need to see price flip and stay above $78,000. Right. When we see the price of Bitcoin stays above $78,000, then we can start having that feeling, you know, of like good feeling for Bitcoin. But I think overall, if I look at the USDT dominance, I would say that Bitcoin actually should be reversing from where price is anytime soon. So this is what I'm looking at with USDT dominance. Okay, if I look at this on the weekly time frame, it's really crucial. I already marked these zones here. We can see USDT dominance go right up to 9% and drop down. Because it already created this week here is a signal that they can easily push dominance to that area to around 9%. And if you look at previous dominance levels, it's exactly towards that area, 9% area. And this was the moment that we had the alt, like we started looking at all season last time. Right. So if we see dominance like create this like stay around this resistance level here based on market structure, and it's not able to break and close like a full candle close above this 9%, like stay above this 9%, then we can easily see it retrace back to this key area. Now that I've done my analysis carefully, let's go to my execution chart. And on this chart I have a couple of indicators here that you guys might love. This is I've built my whole strategy in this indicator, and I'm gonna do a separate video, not today, um, soon, to explain to you guys how to use all of this together. You know, to get the best decision. And yeah, you can see these zones here are fair value gaps. I trade fair value gaps, you know, and this other indicator here, it acts as support and resistance. This one acts as target, also this one too, and this other one year it acts as a 50-day moving average, which to me, when I want to take any trade, well, for example, on the 15 minutes time frame, I want to make sure that price is above the 50-day moving average at least. If price is not above that moving average, then I'm not able or I'm not going to take that trade by any chance. So based on this now, let's go back to this chart. For us to be able to take a trade or to like confirm that Bitcoin is gonna reverse, right? We drop down to the 1 hour time frame. You stick on this time frame. So this is what you want to see happen on this time frame. What do you see here? Based on market structure on this 4 hours time frame, price has been forming higher and lower highs and lower lows. From here, you see from this move to the upside, from here, you see this is the high, 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 another low, then this high now, then this low, right? So for us to be able to say, okay, price is gonna be back in an uptrend, we need to see Bitcoin break at least stay above $68,000 with high volume to an extent, $69,000, and you're buying now the pullback, right? The pullback should take us back to this zone, right? And the pullback doesn't mean you can just buy immediately like that. No, you don't just buy immediately like that. You wait for confirmation, and this could mean a fair value gap, an order block, a strong engulfing candle, a hammer. You know, either of these candle that appear with high volume, or it could be a confirmation that price want to continue to the upside. Because you can see, if we zoom out here, you see that if price managed to take this high here, at least this high, this particular high here, it means price will take out these other highs here, right? So look at the distribution here. Look at this distribution. Look at the supply, right? These are all supply, distribution, supply and demand. Supply, demand, supply now, and let's see whether demand will come in to take us back to this level. But I think where we are currently, there's a lot of liquidity around this zone that price need to grab at one point. That's why if you look at the liquidation heat map, you see that we have liquidity right down to about 62 $62,000. Yeah. $62,000. We have liquidity right down to 62700. Yeah. We have also as $64,000, as $66,000, as $68,000, and right up to about $70,000. So if we start looking at um Bitcoin around, if we see Bitcoin around $63,000, then that's a good zone for us to start looking for a buy opportunity around that area, right? And another thing is, if we look at the target, you see that we have a level right up to $73,000 for Bitcoin, and this is in confluence to what I showed you guys on this chart on the weekly time frame. You see that we have this zone here based on the weekly setup. Let me go back. I think I not this chart. I think this is a chart that we have been talking about here. Yeah. So if you see here, you see that if you look here, you see that we have this resistance level around 73,599. And if we see Bitcoin get to that area, if you are in any trades, you want to cash out your profit and wait for price to break up and close below, or yeah, to break above it, then come back and retest that zone, but price should stay above it before you look for that buy opportunity. Looking at Ethereum is playing the same game as Bitcoin. I always say that this Ethereum is playing at the same game as Bitcoin, meaning if you look at Bitcoin price action, you see Bitcoin made this huge move to the upside. This demand, supply, demand, and the same thing is going on with Ethereum, right? So if say you want to buy Ethereum, you want to trade Ethereum, just analyze Bitcoin, and when you see Bitcoin about to break, you can buy Ethereum. That's just how I go about all of this. I make sure I focus on Bitcoin. Then I use Bitcoin to now look for better opportunities with altcoins. But the altcoins gives us that more upside than Bitcoin. So we have a long way to go. Why? If I bring in the Trendilo here, I have another indicator which is called the Trendilo. You can see that if I look on the weekly time frame, even the daily time frame, you see that we are right down here, like this reddish zone. This is the over sold area, right? And we need to see at least the tornado make its way back into this zone and cross the and cross this line in the middle, the 0.00 line in the middle. You can see we are right down here. We need to see it make its way right up here and then cross this line. That's when we can be bullish again for Bitcoin. I think by that time, Bitcoin must have got to, let's say, about 72 $78,000 or $79,000, or let's say to extent $80,000. But guys, so overall, if we look at the structure for Bitcoin, you see that Bitcoin at one point should at least recover half of this move. Like this is not a looking at this on the daily time frame. I don't think we are going to continue even more like super downward without going on to recover this liquidity here. Of course, we can drop down a little bit, like do something like this, come right down here, form a divergence, then move to the upside to grab this liquidity around this area before we continue downward if see that's the case. For now, the price action is not really giving us any flavor. I think what price is doing is just moving sideways, building momentum. Okay. Okay. Then if we have to look at, let's see, Solana. Solana is playing the same game as well. You can see the structure is the same. Look at this moving sideways. If you look at most other altcoins, like let's say Asta, Asta is giving us a different flavor. This one is more bullish against Bitcoin. Tau, Tau is also more bullish against Bitcoin. Let's see what Silver is doing. Silver is up today 4%. This is my target for Silver at around 52. No, I think it's around 50. The range 46 to 52,000, not thousand dollars. $52 to 48 $46. That's my range for silver. This is where I'm looking for that buy opportunity. If I see silver at $52, I'm buying. If I see it at $4.46, I'm buying it. Let's see gold based on the daily time frame. This is also my target for gold. I want to see gold get right down to about $4,000 or $4,400. That's what I'm going to be looking for my trade, best entry, swing, trade. If say I don't see gold around there, then I'm not doing anything. But I think gold is gonna drop down at one point. But we don't want to see the trend below. Yeah, we want to see it break this middle line and close below. If it does that, then it's gonna be bad news for gold. So there's a lot of stuff to be taken into consideration. Let's see. Let's see what we have here with total trade. Yeah, guys, look at the same structure here, the same structure with altcoins. Bitcoin is just giving us the same flavor with altcoin structure. See? So that's why if Bitcoin is going to break structure, it means the top altcoins out there with strength are going to as well break their structure. You can see this is total tree. That's all cryptocurrency, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And this is fascinating because if you look at this structure, this is it, and look at Bitcoin structure, it's almost the same. Look, the same thing, the same thing. That's why, guys, we need to stick on Bitcoin and don't waste time with other altcoins. You can buy your altcoins, but make sure you compare it against Bitcoin. Now let's look at some altcoins that are doing well against Bitcoin. Metis DAO is doing well against Bitcoin. Let's see, Algorand is doing well against Bitcoin. CSP Alcaspa is doing well against Bitcoin. Asta is doing well against Bitcoin. I think this should be Monero is doing well against Bitcoin. The rest, based on my chart here, based on what I have here, Bitcoin is actually destroying them. Now let's look at Bitcoin dominance and see where we are with Bitcoin dominance. Okay, dominance is actually at a crucial zone. if we look at this on the weekly time frame, right, you see that if we are going to lose, like I think we're going to lose it, not like if. When we lose this zone, we are going straight to um 54%, and from there we're going to 50%, and from there we should even target 48%. And this is the odd season um trend that I'm anticipating, I'm looking at to say, okay, if we are able to maintain this structure, yeah, you can see this rejection above, this one also rejected. It means all coins are beginning to have strength against Bitcoin. So that's something which is good. I think if we see this continue like this, then we should expect the altcoin market to do extremely well. So guys, that's that for this show. Hopefully you got some value. If say you want me to keep doing more of this, subscribe to the video, to the channel, like this video, share it with your friends, and let's see you guys in the next